Guys, I know that I've talked about this several times in my videos. I've hinted at it. I've never really talked about it outright, but then just look at everything that's going on, and you'll definitely see that California has shot itself in the foot when it comes to AB5. This is a subject I swore I would never really talk about again. Frankly, I don't think a lot of people really get or understand what's going to happen, and now they're going to see it. So to recap, if something doesn't happen by Friday, Uber and Lyft are going to pull out of California. They're going to put a stop in the service here. And that's going to leave a lot of people out of jobs. Now, everyone wants to say, oh, this is them being greedy. No, this is a direct consequence of something like AB5. And no, I'm not a paid shill. I do something totally different, unrelated to rideshare now. And to be honest, there's a whole lot less stress. For one, I don't have to worry about maintaining the vehicle or making sure that my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted when it comes to any of the other forms. It's one less thing that I have to worry about, and I have lots of other things that I have to worry about. And second is the overall toxic mentality of people within the rideshare sphere. I'm not talking about the people that work hard at this job and legit are trying to learn or have done this since, before rideshare, when they were taxi drivers. I'm talking about the people that expected something, like I keep saying, the whole pie in the sky kind of mentality, you're going to get more than a doctor. Those videos don't do as well as videos where people are obviously trying to give you a sense of false hope. I don't deal with false hope, okay? I try to provide a realistic outcome for a situation. And if you thought that, turning everyone into an employee and making them buckle was going to do anything but make them leave, you obviously have not studied history, business, or money matters. They're just going to pack up, go, and this market is screwed. And it won't necessarily be them that'll be screwed. It will be the people that were providing the service. Now, there are a lot of people that use this as a way to make extra money to make ends meet on top of their primary job. Forgive me, it's like 100 degrees in here. And the general feeling that I get from that is it's very dishonest. Because, if you want to come at this from a journalistic type standpoint, you'd look at the backgrounds of people involved, right? So all of a sudden this lawyer, this firm is going to come out and, calculate $600K worth of damages that you're entitled to. Get real. Like I said in another video, a judge is going to look at that, a judge that went to college, that has that bias as a human being, and he's going to look at you, and he's going to say, why the hell am I going to award you more money than I'd ever make in a year? You're crazy. Get out of here. Dismissed. And they're just going to keep doing that, and eventually they're going to hit someone where they'll settle, And so what? If you get 20K, how much is the lawyer going to take? How much money did all the other parties make on top of that? And if you were bad at money managing before, I guarantee you that 20,000 is not going to last a really long time. 100%. Human nature shows that. I tried to provide the best information that I could when it came to taxes, when it came to how to do some of your forms. I tried to keep track of the news, at least the things that were relevant. I didn't try to fluff anything up. Maybe it wasn't an exercise in futility. Looking through all those news articles and looking at the overall culture of this sphere pretty much told me that maybe it's time to find an exit. And so I did. And I'm not going to lie, I am actually way less stressed out. After a kind of set number of hours on the road, hustling, bustling, whatever I got to do, I end up at home. But not worrying about the longevity of the Uber market in my area or the Uber Eats market in my area or what happens during the pandemic. That actually cut a lot of stress out of my life. And I'm telling you this right now, if you are able to, now is the time, especially if you're a Californian, to, gosh, it's so hot, to find that exit. If you have to go back to school for a little and crash with your parents, so be it. Better yourself. If you have experience in another line of work in, starting a business, do that, because there are lots of businesses that, believe it or not, are bouncing back right now, despite everything, the quarantine, COVID, all this mess. Whatever you believe about it is irrelevant, because as it stands right now, what we're dealing with is what we're dealing with. And you got to navigate that. It is really hot here in California. So, don't pay attention to the hucksters or the barracks lawyers or whatever, your Uncle Bob that has information from 3 years ago, it really doesn't matter at this point. As it stands right now, if you're in California and you're an Uber or Lyft driver, you're in a pretty bad spot. I encourage you to look at their proposal, their Measure 22 or whatever it is. I'll put a screenshot at the end of this of a Reddit too long didn't read version recap of what's in it. I think it's pretty fair. I think you've kind of pigeonholed yourself into this position in California. And what can I say? I'm actually glad to not really worry myself about where the next paycheck is coming from. And I hope that with everything that's coming down the pipeline, you guys can look at this experience, learn something from it, and if there is a next time, move in a better direction. Because remember, it's no fair for a vast majority of people who seem to be against this be overtaken by a very vocal minority of people who don't seem to understand the basics of running a business, or lack the understanding that if you're in a market where you can't just do this job, then at best, within your market, within your small town, it's only ever going to supplement an actual income from somewhere else. So this was a quick and dirty video. I mean, your mileage may vary. You might think what I've said was a little harsh, or it's stupid, or it's wrong, and you know what, frankly, I don't really care at this point. I'm going to be doing a lot of gear-related stuff, like I said. As soon as I get the time, and as soon as I acquire some other gear that's worth talking about. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe.